Okay, cool. I am calling to order the Board of Commissioners in our County Council public meeting. President in the room, well, let's see, it is the 15th of February. It is 1:34. We have in the room Commissioner Hensley, as well as myself, Commissioner DeGroot, and County Council Mark Henderson, and Mr. Ray. So, we'll see, we have a couple of things on there. First, I need to take a look at the meeting minutes from January 17th. How does those look to you, Commissioner?
They're fine.
All right. And those would stand approved. And then the only thing we have on this agenda is Spence Mountain Trail Use and Maintenance Agreement.
Yes, thank you. So, as the board is well aware, the county has now acquired Spence Mountain. And the direction was given to prepare an agreement. Klamath Trails Alliance has offered to construct, maintain, develop trail system in and on Spence Mountain, and it does peek into Eagle Ridge Park as well. And so I have drafted a use agreement. Basically, it's a use and maintenance agreement with Klamath Trails Alliance. Passed that around to property management, Tom Christ at Parks, and also Jeremy Morris with Public Works, but mostly because of his experience and use in trail systems.
Okay.
Just to get some highlights from him. The document I've sent to you are his markup. Property management also had a couple questions or ideas, and so just for your knowledge, when I first passed this around, I sent it to those three. There was some recommendations from Drew Hansel with Klamath Trails Alliance regarding prohibitions on hunting, closing at dark, maintenance of trash receptacles, and toilet facilities. And so,
Horses.
and prohibition on
Horses.
equestrian use, just because of the conflict in uses on those trails between horses and bicyclists. So there are some questions of should hunting be restricted in that area?
Yes.
You know, there is a question of whether the county can restrict such use. I believe it can, as to time and area. There's the issue of dusk to dawn. I think would raise a lot of public safety issues. Folks out there, maybe even teenagers out there after dark. Injuries. I could just see some trouble with after dark use.
Agreed.
Jeremy raised the question. There's a lot of folks that would like to use it with headlamps, and I probably don't disagree. But those are some of the major questions. He had a question regarding the differentiation of actual defined parks and other county properties. As far as individuals using those for recreation, it's all properties regardless. So the fact that we haven't named that a park, I don't think is problematic at this point, because the recreational use by the citizens of the public entity's property would be the same if you're in Eagle Ridge or on Spence Mountain or on a private property owners. The statute reads the same.
Okay.
Jeremy has questions regarding gates and locks and who would be the gatekeeper, and I guess that's a question for the board of where's this gonna lie? Is this a property management's new baby or headache, whichever way you look at it, or parks, or
I think it's probably long term, it's gonna land in parks. That's what it is. At the end of the day, it's just gonna end up being so I will tell you my view. Obviously, I'm just one. I see this property not unlike Sportsman's Park. Right? Sportsman's Park is a county-owned facility that we have an agreement with the Sportsman, and I can't remember the name of the entity.
Right.
Bill Schultz.
Klamath Sportsman's Park.
Yeah, or something like that. where we essentially have an agreement with Klamath Trails Alliance at this time to operate and maintain that park.
It's similar, and I in fact went back and took a look at that agreement
Mhm.
in drafting this one. Big difference is it's almost a lease to them. The county is, or it is a lease.
It is a lease with
The
the
county
sports
is, the county is out of it
Okay.
completely, and they lease the property, and it's theirs to do what they wish with.
They lease it for like $1, right?
I can't remember.
It was one of those $1 for 99 year kind of leases.
And,
So,
You know,
and I
it's
don't
not-
want to necessarily do that right now
And-
until we
and
figure
this-
out exactly what to do with this property.
right, this is more limited to use of the trails,
Okay.
maintenance,
Copy.
development.
But then again, Rick doesn't have staff to go empty trash cans if we need to empty trash cans and things like that.
And that's,
So,
the big question is the budgetary issue.
and
And I don't
Tom does,
mind being the gatekeeper as we get this developed.
right.
That's fine. But like I say, there's not any, the cleanup component's the challenge.
And Tom has that ability right now. Not that, I mean, he already has somebody going out to Eagle Ridge to empty trash cans. So it's just grabbing a couple more trash cans on his way. And they're going to be constructing vault toilets, but they're not constructed yet.
And who is they?
Klamath Trails Lines.
So they're gonna do the permanent. Okay. I was not aware of that.
We gave them a grant to do so.
Okay. And that was another question Rick had, was term.
Mhm.
And my response was I didn't really have any direction on term, so I didn't include it. And then again, they're volunteering their time and services to this, so I figured, term wasn't real important in the sense that they're volunteering labor until they don't want to do it anymore, type of thing. So we can
Mhm.
certainly put a term to it.
For me, would be it's ongoing unless one entity informed the other that we're terminating it.
And that's
Which has a term.
That's the language in there right now.
Yeah,
It's
just-
it's just if one of us starts to
Perpetually
not
until
agree.
such time. Yeah.
There's reference to a master plan, and the only reason why that's referenced is because that's what I received from Klamath Trails Alliance, is this Spence Mountain Mountain Trail System Master Plan. Jeremy was concerned it's not really a master plan in the sense it doesn't have all the supporting documentation and those sorts of things.
It's not engineer master plan.
Exactly. And so, I've just attached it basically as the rough guide that I presume Climate Trails Alliance is going to use. I don't know if these are all developed, if they're planned to be developed and all that, but that's my presumption of what the plan is.
Okay.
And my questions were not taking any kind of position or anything on the groups. It's just with the
Yeah.
change from private to public. That was my question on both of the, and I don't believe there's any desire from the hunting community or from the equestrian community. Anybody with a horse knows they don't mix with bicycles, just as they don't mix with motorcycles. So, nobody's going to pursue that. But I just thought it was worth having the awareness of the discussion.
Does it inside this agreement, or does it in anywhere else define a bicycle?
In the prohibitions, I attempted to,
It allowed electric bikes.
yeah, and I had actually made that question to Commissioner Hensley, because I know in the hunting realm, I believe electric bikes are prohibited in wilderness areas.
And any
For-
roadless.
Yeah, but you can mountain bike in,
Mm-hmm.
and haul an elk out, for example. But as I understand it, the electric assist is a big no-no.
That's correct.
And so I didn't know if folks that use these trails are the same way. I understand that it's okay for, generally for folks to use those electric assists, so I described it somehow.
And electric assist is starting to become a thing.
It's very popular in couples.
And so I don't want to prohibit.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
So
don't
I-
want to prohibit that at all.
Permitted uses is defined as trails shall be used for non-motorized recreation and include hiking, biking, skiing, and snowshoeing. The trails or properties shall not be used for horseback riding, hunting, or by ATVs and motorcycles. Electric assist pedal bicycles are permitted.
Works.
Now, you raised another question on accessibility. Are there any types of non-pedal scooters that might be used by individuals similarly in a mountain bike trail system? I don't know that answer.
I don't think the trails are big enough.
I'm just thinking of two-wheel, maybe with a seat on them, electric powered
Yeah.
scooter type thing, but I don't know.
Even
the
then, it
answer.
would have to be on some of the really easy trails.
Yeah,
it would
because
kinda
that
fall
would
in
seem
and-
dangerous to me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
me too. So, no, I think that answers my question, and I think that works for me. And then we're working on the advisory group for Spence Mountain and stuff like that, so that'll start coming together, so we can really start coming up with a long range master plan. I want to see myself. I mean, that's not part of this conversation, but I want to see camping and stuff like that.
Yep.
Really expanded in the area
Me too.
beyond Eagle Ridge.
I want it to be a destination location in Klamath County. People come there for 2, 3, 4 days and explore the mountain.
Have a place to park their RV. Or,
Food truck court, stage. Yeah.
now we're talking.
Do some of those
There are some
Warrior Dash runs out there. Oh man, yes.
It's a neat place.
So cool.
It is. an awesome place.
I don't know exactly, because I want you, I know I'm just giving this to you for the first time, so I don't want to just have you say yay or nay or go
I'd
with
like to
it.
read through it.
Thank you, okay.
Yeah, I'll read through it too.
Because there's some changes that Jeremy made that are fairly significant. I don't think any of them are inappropriate or not without consideration,
Mhm.
but I want to make sure that you're all on.
Why don't we
board with
just
it.
put this back on our next agenda?
Okay.
And then the board will come to you with any concerns, and then
Perfect.
we can look to wrap it up. If, the language up, and then run it through the business meeting.
Yep.
After that.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
All righty.
All right, anybody, anything else?
Along the same property issue, I guess, and it's not an item that we're discussing or anything, but it'll be before you in a few weeks, I suspect. Is gentleman named, I believe, is Andy Cleland. Questionable on the last name there, but I think that was it. He's the county trapper.
That's
Uh-huh.
me.
Is that it? And we don't have a current agreement, or we may have a current agreement, but it may be near expiring. So he's doing the research on that and get something back in front of you. And they approach it in a couple different ways, on either a blanket agreement or a case by case by case. And I suggested a blanket agreement would probably be most interested by this board.
Okay.
So I'll have that before you. And with this property, he kind of went through and we listed the coyotes and the cougars and they got some issues with beavers, but they'll be back on probably in bears. And I said, I noticed you didn't say wolves. And he'd said, well, with county properties, we typically don't see wolves. I said, well, don't forget about Spence Mountain where there are wolves. So that will be looped in probably as part of that agreement too. And it's just an overall, so it gives them the access is really what it does.
Okay. Perfect.
Excellent.
All right.
Y'all?
Yeah, we're adjourned at 1:47.
And I will email that marked up version to the three of you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
appreciate it.